Hello, RJ.
Yes, sir. How are you, Mr. Mayor?
Good afternoon. I am well, and you?
I'm doing okay. Doing okay. Thank you so much for taking the time out to speak with us.
Well, you're very welcome. I'm happy to do so.
Yes, sir. So we know you have an election that is coming up. When? I mean, how is everything going? What do you feel your chances are for tomorrow?
I think our numbers indicate that we're going to win this. I think it's just a question of how big are we going to win it. We have worked hard. We've run a full-service campaign. We've been exceedingly aggressive on the vote by mail opportunity, the early voting, and of course getting out the vote on election day, which is tomorrow. So I'm very confident. I feel like that I have done my best to let the voters know the issues and communicate to them what the issues are, and both the positive and the negative. And I am confident.
Okay. Well, while we're on the subject of the election, I do want to ask you something because I'm interested, especially as far as the incumbents are concerned, how they feel about this issue. It seems that a strategy in this election is to not debate and not back up some of the things that have been saying, not from you, but it seems the people who are challenging the incumbents don't seem to want to engage in debates or interviews. I just want to know, you're a politician, no offense, but what type of strategy is this? Is this some type of new strategy? Can you give us some insight on this?
Clearly, these three opponents that are challenging the incumbents are hand-picked opponents by one Anthony Thomas.
Okay.
And there is a movement afoot to keep the opponents out of the limelight. Therefore, not let them debate, because I think those candidates who are running, the opponents who are running, are not knowledgeable of the issues. And so if there is a public debate, a public discussion, and a public forum, voters will have a better chance to understand that all three of the candidates are really not prepared to serve in public office.
Okay. Okay. And unfortunately, that is the feeling that we get because they're refusing interviews, no debates, no anything. So all we have is a web page to go on, and on those web page, I have to admit that some of the things that they are suggesting, they aren't feasible as far as someone who is holding political office. But that's just a strategy we were interested in.
Yeah, I think the election is a sham, and I believe that it's really a sad commentary for Fort Myers. And if they were confident and if they were running for the right reasons, I believe they would be more than willing to share their vision, their views, their background, their training to the voters, so that the voters can make an informed decision. So I think very much from the opponents that are running in this election, it's pretty much a sham. I've never seen an opponent who was not willing to engage with the voters.
Right, and for someone like me who enjoys politics, it was very disappointing. So, okay.
I appreciate and respect your view on that, and I agree with you.
Yes.
What is it that they offer?
Right. So I would have a question. The river basin is beautiful, by the way. I think that
Thank you.
the city council and yourself, you guys deserve a lot of credit for what is taking place downtown. Now, I'd like you to give us some information, some insight on what is next. What is phase two, so to speak, of the downtown area? Can we expect more businesses, more retailers to come in downtown? What's happening there?
Thank you. It's a great question, and I am very optimistic for the next 4 years. I believe that you're going to see a combination of restaurant activity and retail activity, and I think it's important that the city have a modern and beautiful hotel that will complement the event center, Harborside Event Center. And there are 4 companies. We were engaged with one company. That company opted out because they have won bids to build hotels in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and Sarasota, Florida. And therefore they're going to pass on our opportunity. And we knew that going in. We knew we were competing with other cities.
Mm-hmm.
So we wished them well. In the meantime, 4 other companies were in line to visit with us. I have already met with 2 of them. There are 2 more, a company from California and then one from the west or east coast of Florida. So what I'm happy to announce to you, RJ, is that the investment community sees Fort Myers as a viable place to come and do business. And I am hoping that we can help them come here and set up business. There are at least 5 restaurants that have expressed interest in the Art of the Olympian building, and there are others who I think will be interested in being on the basin. There's a couple of building sites on the basin itself. So from my perspective, we're well positioned to take advantage of growth.
Okay. Now, my question, and this is speaking of growth, the MLK corridor. There's been rumors for years that something's going to take place down there. We recently heard that there was a famous soul food restaurant that would be placed in that area. Can you give us some information on what's going to happen or with the MLK, or any plans that may be in the works for the MLK corridor?
I believe, yes, is the answer. I believe that as we move, we are post-recession, as we move out of the recessionary period and to grow more, that the MLK corridor is going to be an attractive opportunity for retail expansion and new opportunities, such as I understand that Dollar General store has expressed an interest in that corridor, McDonald's, Burger King, and others. But the soul food company that you're talking to, what I am hopeful for is that they're going to come and be a tenant in the McCollum Hall. We've been working on that for years. McCollum Hall is a historical building there in MLK, and we expect it to be rehabilitated. And the soul food restaurant, the name escapes me at the moment, but they're opening up they're in Harlem, up in New York, and they're opening up a new store in St. Petersburg.
Okay.
And they're in negotiations to go into McCollum Hall. So I am hoping over the next 4 years that we're going to see multiple new businesses pop up in the MLK corridor. We have certainly set the table for it with the beautification and expansion of Clementi Park, and the Black Historic Museum is in great shape now. It's a beautiful attraction. The Imaginarium and Quality of Life is doing great. So we've got terrific momentum, and not to mention the Southwest Florida Enterprise Center, which has a bright future. It's doing the best it's ever done in the history. So there's a lot of momentum, RJ, and I'm going to do all my power to push that momentum forward.
Okay, we know that you're short on time because you have a lot to do today. Just a few more questions. City of Palms Park. Now, my feeling, well, I'm sure yours too, the more we invest in the infrastructure of the city, and that includes the downtown, the MLK corridor, and other places, since our economy is primarily built on tourism, what is going to happen with City of Palms Park? Is there any way to start utilizing that so that can also bring some tourism dollars into the area?
The answer is yes, and we are working with the county to inspire that very thing. There's a company out of Grand Rapids, Michigan, that has expressed interest in making improvements to the park that could result in bringing a Major League Baseball team here for spring training. It might be the Nationals. It could be someone else. I can tell you that another opportunity might be semi-professional soccer. But in any event, I look for a day where the City of Palms Park will be utilized for multiple events, 12 months out of the year, including concerts, Easter ceremonies, perhaps other holiday ceremonies. And in addition, if we work with Rockford Development Company, I envision a day, and I hope for a day, where Rockford will begin to redevelop the area around the stadium with new and modern housing and professional office buildings to include select retail and beautification. So I do believe that that's going to happen in the next 4 years. We're working with the county to make that happen and coming out of the recession makes it a little more feasible because now we're starting to grow. So keep your fingers crossed on that one.
We will do so. Mr. Mayor, is there anything else that you'd like to tell the folks that are watching us?
I would just say, RJ, it's an exciting time to be mayor. I am looking forward to winning this election tomorrow and carrying this momentum forward for the next 4 years. We have a beautiful city. We have the table set for economic expansion, continued expansion. We've already had $700 million of private citizen investing in the core of the city, not to mention hundreds of millions across the whole city. So we're growing in every sector of the city, and I'm just looking forward to post-merger seeing that to continue in a high-quality way, sir.
Okay. Now, I would be remiss if I did not ask you about this, and this is really the final question. This issue with the Sheriff's Department taking over the City of Fort Myers Police Department, where do you stand on that? And if, by chance, the Sheriff's Office does get decided that the Sheriff's Office will take over FMPD, when will that be implemented, and how do you think this will impact the city?
Yeah, great question. I want to tell you that I think my opponent sponsored the referendum for personal reasons. I think he has an axe to grind with our police department. He's got 181 violations of his own, citations for serving underage patrons alcohol, and multiple citations for operating vehicle without proper insurance, and so 181 of those he has developed a substantial disliking for our police department, and this is his payback. The concept is ill-inspired, ill-conceived, and I do not support it. I want to vote no on Amendment 1. Okay. If the amendment passes, I will be, as mayor, working with the Sheriff's Department and Council and Lee County Commission to make sure that we have an orderly transition, and that will have to be done according to the referendum within a 12-month period of time. And so I will do everything in my power to have a successful experience with that if the referendum passes. I expect it to fail. I'm doing all that I can to make sure that it fails because I do not think our citizens will be safer if we do that. Our police department is highly trained, accredited, and I respect them immensely, and I expect them to still be in place the day after tomorrow.
Okay. Hey, Mr. Mayor, thank you so much for taking your time out to speak with us, and good luck with the election tomorrow.
Thank you, kind sir. I'm available to you anytime. Once I'm reelected and you want to get together, I welcome that opportunity.
I look forward to it. Thank you, sir.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And that was Mayor Randy Henderson. We appreciate him taking the time out to speak with us here at CommunityTV1.com. We'd like to thank the mayor and his people that helped us set up this interview. And, of course, we look forward to having him in when and if he wins the election. Maybe we'll even bring him in if he does not win the election. But the way it's looking, I'm pretty sure that he will win. Very candid about some of the folks who are behind some of the initiatives that are taking place, some of the amendments that we're going to be looking out for on Tuesday to see what their outcomes are, including the Sheriff's Department, including the persons that are behind these amendments, and some of these, I'm going to have to call it like I see it, some of these straw man candidates that do not state their positions publicly, do not engage with the public about what they want to accomplish and how they are going to accomplish it, which, in my own personal opinion, is very suspicious, and there's no way that we can trust that. I think that the opponents of the mayor and the city council, these individuals are hoping for a low voter turnout so that somehow these candidates can sneak in. I am RJ. This is CommunityTV1.com. Of course, this is Counter Strike, and we will speak with you soon.